Thank you to Framer for sponsoring this video. In this video, I'm going to do a complete comparison of Framer to AI vibe coding tools like Lovable. And by the end of the video, you are going to know which tool you should use to build your website. And you might be surprised by which use cases Framer is better for. First, I want to give you a quick overview of what Framer is if it's something that you are brand new to. Framer is a site builder. It's trusted by startups, Fortune 500 companies. It allows you to very easily build and scale websites with an integrated CMS, analytics, and SEO features built in. So just by scrolling down their homepage, we can see how important design is to them. Just overall, the design of their homepage is really beautiful. We can see the editor here, which we're going to get into later. And the reason that big companies and also startups alike really enjoy using Framer is because everything can be created by a designer pixel perfect. So you're not just writing a prompt and hoping that the design is going to be what you want. You are able to create exactly what's in your mind by placing and editing in their editor directly. So that is off the bat. One of the biggest differences is you're not just prompting and hoping something is going to be what you had in mind. You're actually able to create it. So here we are inside the Framer dashboard. I'm just going to create a new project. And again, we're going to get into more comparisons between the AI tools in just a little bit, but I want to show you more about the Framer editor so that you have some more understanding about how Framer works first. Now you can start from a blank project, but something I really like about Framer is how many beautiful templates you can get started with for free. So they have templates across portfolio, business, agency, and resume. And I think that kind of gives you an idea of the 4 categories that Framer is best for. So let's say we want to create a resume website. I can go ahead and select this outline CV. You can even preview it really quick. I really like it. I think it looks really nice and cool. So I'm going to go ahead and select that one. And we're going to start from a template, which is going to also give you a good sense of how the editor works. And I'm going to walk through everything here. So if you're a little bit overwhelmed now, don't worry. I'm going to go through everything step by step. Now, if you've ever used a tool like Figma before, this is going to feel familiar. This infinite canvas where you can zoom in and out, scroll left and right, and see everything all in one. What's really nice about this is here we can see on the left side, we're on the home page, and here we can see the home page in all of the viewpoints all at once. So the desktop, the tablet, and the phone viewpoint all at once. There's also on the left side just kind of a guide by the designer of how to use the template. So it's nice that they included that as well, which you could delete before we actually publish. And then on the left side, we can see there's a couple other pages. There's a cases pages, and this is using the CMS. CMS stands for Content Management System, which is basically data that's going to be fed into our Framer website. So here, this is basically like the overall cases page, case study page, where we can see all of the cases. This is a CMS item, and we can go into the layers tab to see all of the individual items here on the page. So this element from the CMS is pulling in actual data from our CMS here. So here we can see all the cases. And then you can click in and we can see, again, these are just the template ones, and you would be able to change these out for your actual case studies. And if we go back, and we go back to pages, if we click on the individual CMS page, here we can see what it looks like on desktop, tablet, and mobile. And this is the individual template pages. So if we click here on the top on this blue button, blue element here, we can go to all of the different CMS items to see exactly what it's going to look like. So this is what Framer calls the detail page. So layout changes made to this page are going to apply to pages, all pages of the selected CMS collection. And you can have multiple CMS collections as well. Finally, just a very simple 404 page. And if you want to preview any of these pages, you just have to go ahead and click this play button here. And now we can preview this on desktop and see exactly what it's going to look like. We can preview it on tablet and preview it on phone. So this is a more focused view here instead of that infinite canvas that we had earlier. So again, what really differentiates Framer is the level of design detail that you can put into it. If you're a designer, if you're someone who wants complete control over what you're building, Framer is going to allow you to do that. Everything here is pixel perfect. On the right side, you have all of the position, sizing, effects, overlays. If you are familiar with CSS, this is basically CSS, but giving you an easy way to actually use it in a no-code way. All of the positioning and everything can be fully customized exactly what you want. Whereas if you're using a tool that's a vibe coding tool, you can prompt for what you want, but you're not going to be able to place things exactly how you want it, change things exactly how you want it in the same way. So you just have less control compared to using a tool like Framer. The other area where this is really important is for brand consistency. So with AI tools, it's going to do its best to apply your brand across all of the pages. But with a tool like Framer, you have complete control over the brand consistency, and you can make sure that everything is perfectly matching your brand. So this is really important if design is the highest priority for you. You can control all the typography, the colors, everything like that to keep everything consistent. The other area where you're getting more control with a tool like Framer is animations. And we can see this here, some simple ones. If we click play, you can see how these elements are animating into the page. So I'm going to click that again so you can see exactly what I mean in case you missed it. And if we go back, we can see the way that this is happening. I'm going to show you exactly what's happening on the page. So if we go to the layers here, you can see there's a little kind of star or cross right here. And we have that on different elements on the page. And if we go down, we can see there are effects. So that means that there is an effect attached here. And if we click on it, we can see on up here, there's a preset, a custom preset. And then what that's going to do is basically create that animation as the page loads. And then those are also applied here to these sections. Now, again, this is something you could try to prompt for with AI tools, and you probably get something similar, but you're not going to have that full exact control to the second the way that you're going to have with Framer animation. The CMS itself is another big difference between a tool like Framer and a vibe coding tool. Now, vibe coding tools can integrate with a database like Supabase, for example, and you can build your own CMS. However, that is really complicating things, and it can be difficult to build the CMS exactly how you want when tools like Framer have the CMS fully built in by default. So you could think of a CMS kind of as its own database. It is a content database, basically, where you can have data like case studies, blogs, anything where you need individual templated pages for people to see on your website. So this is perfect, again, for portfolios, for business websites, those types of use cases where you don't need a Supabase database where people are logging in and taking action, and you need to hide and show data based on users, that kind of thing. This is perfect for blogs, portfolio sites. So this is perfect when you want a CMS built in. I'm going to show you how to actually make edits to the Framer template so you can see how easy and quick it is to go from a template to customizing it to exactly what you want. So I'm going to show you a few different examples here in this template. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the text itself and how easy it is to change the text. And then we're going to get into some design changes. So let's start changing this for myself. So I can just double click here on the text to Seth Kramer. And now it's me. I can say founder, no code MBA. And then on the image, we can double click on that. We can see it's popping up right here. So we can just choose an image of myself. So I just uploaded an image of myself. And now we've changed this part of the template. Super quick and super easy. Now let's get into some style changes. So if we click here on the desktop element here, if we go up to the top, the template, and let's say we want to edit this template, so the layout that was created here for us. If I click edit, we can go down and change the background color. So let's say instead of this kind of off-white background color that we want, let's say we want to change it to like this yellow color. I kind of like that. So let's do that. Now this is changed. If we go back home, now everything is updated because we updated the background of the template layout here. So I actually really like this. I like the change. So that's a really easy stylistic change that you can make to our template. And now let's change the typography that we're going to see here. So I'm going to go into this header that says study. We're going to go to the right side under text and under styles. We're going to click on that style. We can see it's the second body style, and we're going to click edit. The reason we're going to do this is going to update all of this specific second body style throughout the site. So let's say we want it to be a little bit larger. So I'm going to bump that up. And you can see not only is study being updated, so is cases, experience, info, all of these headers are being updated at once. Let's say the weight, I want it to be medium italic. Now they were all updated at the exact same time. I actually really like how it looks. I like the direction this is going. Let's say for color, I want to make it a little bit darker and maybe orange, maybe like more of like a dark orange here. Okay, very cool. So you can see how this is already looking completely different from the way that it was when we first started. So hopefully that showed you just how easy it is to make changes to the template, and we can easily customize it for our own style and our own needs. The SEO is another really big thing to consider when you're deciding whether to use a tool like Framer or an AI vibe coding tool. And that's for a couple big reasons. When you're using vibe coding tools like Lovable, for example, they're coding in a specific coding language. The last time I checked with Lovable, for example, they're using Vite, which is a really good coding language for building apps, but it is the way that it is rendered. It's not as easy for Google to read the text on your website. So it's not as optimized for SEO out of the box. Now, there are things that you can do to try to improve that SEO and optimize it. And there's things that you can do to work on that, but it's not going to necessarily be out of the box optimized for SEO. So with a Framer website, when you publish it, out of the box, it's going to have tools to help you set up your metadata. It's going to, the coding, like the language the site is built in and the way it's published, it's going to be easy for Google to read it and index your site. So there's a lot built into Framer off the bat that's going to just be more well optimized for SEO and be easier for your site to be ranked on Google. So that's a really big thing to consider if you want to build a site that you really need to rank on Google and you don't want to do a ton of extra work in the back end to try to optimize it. Another thing that you should keep in mind when you're considering using Framer or a vibe coding tool is who's going to be using it and the collaboration features built in. So tools like Lovable have really good collaboration features for developers to work together if you're building out features in an app, but it's not great when you need marketers to come in and collaborate together. So that's where Framer really does a great job. You can invite other people on your team to have full access or view only. And then any member of the team can come in and in a no-code way, come and make changes to the actual text or copy on the site. So it's really easy for marketers to come in and make changes. And that's something that can be more difficult with more development-focused tools. So if you want to build an MVP of an app, you want to build a product, using a vibe coding tool is going to make more sense. So we have tons of tutorials on No Code MBA of how to do that. If you want to build a marketing site, a business website, or a portfolio website, using a tool like Framer, which has all of these features that I talked about in this video that are really perfect for that specific use case, in that case, you're going to want to use a tool like Framer. So hopefully, if you've watched this entire video, you now have a good sense of the differences between Framer and then vibe coding tools like Lovable Bolt, for example. So thank you so much for watching. Click the link in the description to check out Framer and try it out for yourself. If you have any questions at all, leave a comment below. I'll do my best to answer any questions or comments that you have, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more free content like this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.